Well, Pearl easily could have been their map too, right? Leading 11-7 at one point, ended up getting knocked back. So the 2-0 is not real for MIBR, but after Corrode, a 2-1 very much could be on the cards.
It's a double duelist again. The Dest highlighted a lot how strong MIBR are with this composition, and no surprises, they're clumped up to start this half.
Playing a little bit deeper in A main early. Shopify not ones to instantly rip the paranoia.
They always like to do it off contact, have a hinder to go with it as well.
Yeah, so Sarah on a little bit of a wider angle. Actually the one to take a first shot with a Sheriff. Good shots out of her, and now that follow-up is in form, but Shopify Rebellion get cut down. All three players in that exchange fall.
Yeah, the paranoia just missed, and now quick into the side is Alexis, the last player who can really save this round for Shopify.
This shot has to be hers, taken away.
Lisa has been so astute this game. Last map on Split, well, the double duelist got the highlight. I feel like she was always the one closing out these rounds. But you talk of closing rounds, you look at clutches. And who else would it be but Noya?
The problem for Noya is there's no one really giving her an angle. Saw Lisa's shoulder. Now she sees nothing except darkness around her. As the walls close in around, and Lisa with a 3K wins this pistol.
The round just comes down to the A main fight. SRG have that trap play ready to go. Have a great hinder, but I think the paranoia just missed on some of these players. There you see Sarah go 1-for-1. And then, yeah, that player on the right doesn't get caught by the Noya, or the paranoia.
Yep, that's the one.
To be specific.
I think the idea was the paranoia was a little bit deeper for the stragglers.
Yeah, thinking the people will be running back for the hinder.
And it was the saturate that only caught that one player up in the front.
You have that little gap, and they perfectly get into it.
2 players unaffected, so the pistol goes MIBR's way. Now, different on Split, it's actually 4 rifles picked up from MIBR here. Remember, things got a little hairy in round 2 after winning the last pistol on Split.
It's interesting to see them just like 5 hit on an anti-eco. You almost always see teams 4-1 with the pistol player alone. It's a lot riskier to just go for an exec this round. Doesn't matter, they're not here.
I mean, it easily could have been execing into 5 players the way Shopify have been playing their ecos. It's actually pretty standard from Shopify. Like, they'll buy nothing, like not even one Sheriff, counter to how a lot of other teams operate on the low buys, but they will stack 5 players on a site and sort of pray that they guessed correctly.
Sometimes all you can do on an eco, on defense. It's a lot harder to craft something truly special on that side of the map.
But what it does mean for Shopify is that even after losing the first 2 rounds, they have a bye in round 3, should have a bye in round 4, even if things go poorly, at least with the light armor. And while a kill goes to Donut, there's just not enough time. That was the pistol anyways, running up from MIBR. And all 5 gonna die to the spike.
Mission accomplished, you die. Down
good work, good work.
Great work, Shopify. MIBR, they guessed correctly. They get a free anti-eco. And now they keep their 4 rifles and we have a very potent bonus here.
Some Sayuri fans in the crowd. Gotta respect it.
Yeah, there's a lot of Brazilian fans out here. I've been impressed with how they've shown up, how passionate the cheering section has been for our Brazilian teams.
It's fun, too, because the majority of the Brazilian fans are seated right behind MIBR, so very loud.
Oh, yeah.
MIBR, I can feel that a bit.
Shopify are crafting something into mid here. Both initiators here alongside Dodo.
Just laying down some fire is Sarah. Actually, early knife from Sayuri. Trapped Alexis. Up in mid, and MIBR are up here. They're going for a fight through the smoke, absolutely catching these players. Bastarda working off a brilliant flash, but the counter fight on B is there. Even playing field, Noya swings straight into Bastarda's Odin, of all things. She picked that up for 4 kills. Are you kidding?
On for the ace with a stolen weapon.
And now those Brazilian fans seated right behind MIBR egg her on for that final kill.
Shopify wanted to go for a re-clear play in mid, but they waited a second too long on the timing, and it's MIBR instead, the tip of the spear.
Final target acquired. Bastarda could go explosive with it instead. Realizing no reason in sticking around, risking dying to the spike. Might catch Mel on the exit instead.
Cutting through.
Mel's now gonna run towards her. Is the ace still on? Bastarda not chasing for it, so ace denied, robbed away, but still a ridiculous round from Bastarda.
Yeah, let's just watch that again. Bastarda into mid. MIBR had been contacting his space the whole time, and you see it's the exact same timing that Shopify wanted to go for a reclear, but the Utah's just a little ahead. And with that picked up gun, she's so aware of the right angles to be looking at. You know what a beast the Odin is when someone is swinging into you.
Such a good round. Also just playing off her own utility. Didn't even need the support.
Yep.
Her 2 flashes were good for 3 kills, all things considered. That's where the knife landed in the last round. The roof Alexis was looking at. This time, Sayuri's knife up for B main to spot any early stack, early aggression.
MIBR stick to the theme of a bit simpler rounds on their anti-ecos with that Odin now in the hands of Melissa.
MIBR knowing the pack mentality of Shopify on the ecos. This wall catches Dodo on a brutal timing. Might have been a slight miscommunication there between Noya and Dodonut.
With no Viper themselves, MIBR will always struggle at these like slow taking mid rounds because they don't have that early utility.
And now as the double face comes in, Sarah quick on the fire. Catches Bastarda before the teleport. Now MIBR can move on. They had 4 players in mid ready for this exact situation.
And it's all fine as long as Mel doesn't get a kill with the Sheriff. She does. She opens the door for her team.
Well, Mel has the classic. Noya might have a shot with the Sheriff. Timing into this smoke with classic. Some good damage, but now Noya is absolutely bullied. Every single piece of utility under the sun has caught her.
Spike planted.
Alexis did manage to secure a rifle, but has to survive past SRN. Easy enough task for her, but still whittled down to 20 HP. And the harder task is moving past Melissa's Odin.
Sarah getting a taste of her own medicine. That Odin that got survived through used against her.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Sarah risking dying with the Odin means that MIBR are just going to carve you up with it in their hands.
I like that MIBR are taking a slower round on the eco, expecting that re-aggression behind the Viper wall. They hold for that, and then just go for a nice, simple A hit together.
By the books.
Yep. And I think that's what's so good about them when they play these double duelist comps. They aren't a team that you actually see do a lot of like very crazy early round stuff. If they're running an exec, sure, that'll be fast. But for the most part, I think they tend to play like slower 4-1s and actually really like having that time to call back into the mid round, let their individual players work a little bit, and then actually going for these execs much later. They love getting that opportunity for both Bastarda and for SRN to do their damage in the mid round, and Bastarda a great chance to do damage with an op into this one.
Big purchase on the attack. Something she'll like to do, especially to take the fights up into mains. Especially because Shopify are playing without a Sentinel. Leaves them vulnerable. Noya's always going to be having to check some angles onto B. Bastarda can calmly clear forward to deal with that player.
Shopify with some crossfires in mid. Alexis in a position to flash over to support these 2 players off their contact.
Drone over the top. I think that dart actually went down towards Dodo. Could have been spotted. Now the fight on in. What's going on?
Team flash.
Yeah, Alexis had thrown that through the top. In case there were more players behind, it was necessary.
Luckily, both Waylays just rewind, and all's well that ends well.
But now I'm looking back at B main. Bastarda has inched forward.
But it's a high angle. It's a passive angle for Noya.
But seeing nothing, Bastarda's got to feel confident. Sees that player heaven. I think Bastarda was spotted too, so a knife thrown out by Alexis, and Bastarda takes the shot. The boost up seeing over the top of the wall. And now the gun switch back over.
But a freeze for MIBR. They hold in mid, they wait for the re-aggression.
Not for long, Sayuri went back to throw a left kick flash over the top of site. There's actually a knife coming down. Bastarda now into the site, Alexis. What can you do to hold this down?
Spike down.
Creeping to the left-hand side. An assassin as Lisa lights them up in mid, but there's still just 10 seconds left. Alexis now on both sides has to turn around to deal with everything. It will not be. Instead, 5 rounds in a row for MIBR.
Lisa is a beast. She comes out of nowhere in that round. just sitting in mid, waiting for her opportunity. That was the opener for Bastarda that got them into this side. But you see Shopify is clearing down mid with 3, trying to push a flank on this retake. And Lisa decimates them.
It's such good control too. Those 2 or 3 brief moments she paused for a millisecond to reset her aim, reset the spray, and just take down Shopify even as they quickly turn back to deal with her.
So Shopify call a pause now. Lisa's still yet to die, by the way.
That is crazy. 7-0 on the Omen.
I don't know if I've ever seen an Omen not die after 5 rounds of play. That is wild.
I mean, certainly not versus Shopify.
No.
Like, this is a team that it was a shocker to see them even lose a series.
Even
in
a map. Remember 2024, the last time these teams played in a final, in a BO5 at all, was flawless. They didn't drop a map to lift that trophy.
And now to lose their first series in a Game Changers Champs ever? This Shopify Rebellion team, with this roster, getting knocked down by the Brazilian #1 team now, in a tied series, mind you, trailing 5-0 against the Brazil #2 squad.
A team that they sent down here, that they 13-1'd to then 2-0 to start on this whole lower bracket run.
I mean, Brazilian teams have done that lower bracket run before. In 2023, it was Team Liquid. Had to do the same exact thing. Now MIBR primed to cut down Shopify on this anti-eco. That would be 6 rounds in a row. And they're doing it by the books as well, investing the ultimate on Bastarda. Now thinking about fighting forward too.
This has to be a retake for Shopify, and they're losing space. Already this fight into elbow for SRN.
The only chance here really is Noya. And she's good for the first. Hold on a moment. Paranoia. Retake some space. Teleport under. Hell, there's 3 players waiting underneath Noya. And now with the op swinging back in Sayuri's hands of all things. It's a little bit silly. And there's not enough. That is 10-0 now on Lisa. 3 kills there secured again in back-to-back rounds.
Is someone gonna kill her?
I'm not so sure.
Can someone please kill Lisa? She's been alive for 6 rounds.
I'm not sure what the mission should be for Shopify. Is it win a round or kill Lisa? You might have to do both.
I think one has to follow another. I don't know if you're getting around on the board until she is dealt with. Look at that.
Snappy.
It's so similar to the previous one, though. Quickly adjusting her aim, flicking around. Just looks so confident right now. But this is the round Effie's was talking to them about. An op for Dodo.
And the op is still for Sayuri. Because MIBR are looking for the 5-hit. Off of the ping. That's the Hunter's Fury Mel teleporting around. As the reaction comes in from Shopify. And Orb to buy some cover for Shopify. They've rotated in. MIBR have gone virtually nowhere. Alexis through the smoke sees nothing. Knife suppresses 4.
So they're stalled out. And with no cancel option, MIBR might just have to walk back in to the Lion's Den.
Because Shopify Rebellion have space gained in B main.
And look in mid, an operator holding the line there as well.
Great line. So they know MIBR have nowhere left to go.
But there's still the matter of executing on it.
Sayuri just picked up an orb. Switches guns because now she has the ultimate. A null command. But there's still Sarah's Odin. Forget the utility. She is absolutely carving alongside the rest of Shopify. They need this round. Shopify can't let it slip now. Back through the smoke goes Mel for 3. And 1 on the board now for the reigning champs.
Finally Lisa killed. Finally a round for SR. And the stall utility, all of it for Shopify was very good in that round. It started off with, I think, the ult getting popped a little too early for Dodo. She threw it into Yard before anyone had even made it out. But Alexis, that knife that tags onto 4 is pivotal.
Exactly.
Full stalls the hit, and while that's happening, it's the players on the other side cutting MIBR out of any rotate.
You forget it for a while when Alexis plays so much of the Sentinel throughout the year. But her initiator utility is elite.
Interesting start. SRN popped quick into B main and goes again to challenge Dodo.
That is bold, but look back behind A main. That is where Lisa finds herself. 15 seconds into the round.
And Noya's trapped between 2 sides, has to fight her way out.
Is she trapped? Is she trapped, or is this exactly where she wants to be? They have no idea, but the first shots are whiffy. So a 1-for-1 is all she finds.
And now a plant for backside. Lisa, who had been in spawn this whole round, waiting for her moment.
Wanted to equalize. Still down a player is MIBR.
Alexis has the ult for the retake. Flashes still to get back in.
Lisa calls Sayuri up. It's a forward flash. SRG are scared. And now a smoke down. Lisa has to die to win the round. A good flash coming on through. First player dealt with Sayuri. Slowed down too. And Melissa falls back-to-back rounds. Multi-kills from Mel.
They get the opening kill onto SRN, and then I think Shopify have done a good job in these last couple rounds at realizing that MIBR is almost always playing clump. There's that opener. And then how do they react? A drone back into mid. A walk up to hold forward in B main, and that means that by the time that they're actually rotating back into this A site, they've eliminated any other positions that MIBR could be in, and they can full focus it, trading each other out on that retake.
You see Noya get excited there. I think that's a big round for Shopify to win because the wince I saw on her face after the whiff is tough. She can't allow herself to get in her own head. The rest of her team picked her up in that round. She's been struggling a little bit at the start.
Dodo's up this time in mid. Got the opener last round.
Flash and a swing, only blinds a drone. But I don't believe Dodo was spotted with the op.
Maybe just on the fate of the drone. A dart, a smoke to push her away.
She's still dodging it, but SRN has crept ever closer.
Alexis with a flash to swing back in. Let this op get a forward line.
Drone spotted. SRN in trouble. Shot doesn't connect, and SRN is still moving. MIBR do not want to let Dodo nut out. Another flash, this time coming around the other side. Alexis to equalize, and Dodo holds it down, trying to escape by the skin of her teeth. She's a clone in main. Means Alexis now has no support behind her. Alexis has to fight her way out, gets 3 onto the round. And now Lisa, who has been perfection in this map, has 35 seconds left in a 1-on-3.
She finally died, but there's still
30 seconds
a
left.
huge challenge to this round. They all holding her angle.
But 30 HP makes Lisa's Vandal an op too. Oh, a leg shot of all things. 20 seconds left. And now the switch to the shorty. Double shorties. They know how low Lisa is. Getting wild with it to string together 3.
That mid fight is very well executed, really by Alexis. The timing she's choosing to re-flash her teammate back onto the line. Here you can see it. Flash up, they swing forward for the first. Now they tuck back in another flash to get Dodo forward. And finally, when she's out of utility, when she's done her job for her team, she holds strong herself. That's down 3 in mid.
Nice! Let's go. Thank you.
Alexis feeling good after a round like that. So it'll be MIBR to call a timeout now. And it seemed like they could do no wrong for 6 rounds, whether they were playing slower for mid control, whether it was catching Shopify's refights. But I think a few rounds in a row now, the combination of teamwork and utility out of Alexis has been tough for MIBR to break.
Seeing this Waylay pick into the operator instead, I would almost like to see them call an A-hit round. Normally the Waylay is playing the close crossfire with the Omen, using the Hinder and the Paranoia to hold that space.
Yes.
When they're opping, Dodo almost always is playing in towards mid or early fighting in extremity. If you can push off that extremity, make sure she's not opping there, I think a hard hit on A can cook.
Yeah, because you'd look to other agents on the team to offer that similar level of stall with KO having a molly, but KO is also always escorting Dodo Nut around. Alexis is always in those fights. I think you might be onto something.
But they read the opposite side. They want a B hit, and guess who's here?
Wow. Dodo with the operator, and Alexis too. MIBR have a Waylay ult to play on. But it's hard to capitalize and punish the op when there's the knife ready to go. Early drone right off the riff and a flash too. Sends Dodo Nut away, 4 players tagged up. And a Hunter's Fury from Sarah has a great line from mid. Nice shots. Take out one of those 2 duelists.
So MIBR stunted. They're getting pushed through from mid.
Yes, Mel has gone all the way forward.
They have to exec into B. That's their only way to win.
So SRN asked for a major task. Find the entry pathing, find the entry kills. Alexis in the corner. Hasn't been pushed away, trying to find the spam into the smoke. MIBR finally into the site. But still that flank coming in quickly. Mel is about to activate. Onto the planter, Mel for 2 again. And Sayuri has no HP. The blind from Mel secures yet another. This train will not stop.
MIBR are going for uncomplicated rounds, trying to slam their executes, and Shopify have got it figured out. Their stall utility has been very effective at cutting down these plays in main. Look at that Hunter's Fury from Sarah, untested in mid. Then even though Alexis dies here, gets that molly up, that further buys time for Mel. And with a stall utility to fight, that's all good. The crux of it is that Shopify are always pushing through on the other side and enveloping MIBR, not giving them a cancel option.
Exactly. Whenever they get the information, instantly playing the macro off of what they learned. But MIBR have another buy. Sayuri has another ult on the KO. This time dodging away if there was going to be an early knife, but this time it finds nothing. MIBR's doesn't either.
So they send the drone mid. I think this is in part to try and pressure an AWP away.
The initiators have traded utility in B main, now drones kissing each other in mid.
But the thing is, Shopify held mid through that exchange. So again, they're in a position where if a B hit comes, they can fast push around.
The difference is, with that null command, no utility to stop the flood. Only Sarah's Odin for some chip damage. Noya repositioned Heaven.
The question for MIBR is, where do they fight in the post fight? Elbow seems to be the answer.
First flash finds nothing for MIBR. Paranoia too. It's slow from MIBR. It's slow from Shopify.
Great paranoia. Push the elbow players out.
Here we go. First fight goes evenly. Now a teleport into Heaven. Lisa getting way too crazy. It was trying to combo with this fight, but now in a 1-on-2, Melissa suck in main, a Guardian. All she has at her disposal. Here's the cancel. Here's Dodo Nut. Knows where these players are, but they have exactly the same information. Taking her time to pull out the gun, the shorty, to deliver another blow to MIBR.
Great retake from Shopify. That round they actually had to give up the site because of the null command. But they very quickly recognize MIBR's win conditions and have answers to them. The only way out of this round was for them to hold on to either elbow or mid control. And Shopify had players ready in both. The counter paranoia from Mel. The operator holding the line in mid. As soon as MIBR try and break out, Shopify is holding. And damn if they held well. 5 rounds now, 1 in a row. From a half that started 0-6 down.
We saw this yesterday. It was Shopify on Pearl versus TL that went up 6 rounds, only for TL to equalize. Now Shopify a chance to see the other side of that. If they can find success in this round. Teleport up. Sees both initiators on Shopify. Guides her team into the site. Bastarda now locating 3. Lodges herself in. Already the spam from Sarah to try and connect. As a knife catches 3 players on site, MIBR can't fight forward. They plant the spike, and they hold the line.
It's basically the same round again. Can MIBR change the outcome?
The difference is Melissa is all the way back in spawn, guarding flanks and holding onto double shocks and an ult. So the retake has to come in. Now the paranoia! Where are the shots? Bastarda is still alive against all odds. Finally dealt with by the leader in Mel. And now Ultimate's on the other side. Dodo Nut up and over and around the top. A Hunter's Fury on the back of everything. It's madness. But Melissa is so far away from this fight, she's out of the fight entirely. The shock darts won't come in time. She doesn't have a chance to stop this defuse. She was way too far from it all. And Shopify brought it all the way back from 6-0 to tied at the half.
It's just quid pro quo. 6 rounds one way, 6 rounds the other. When Shopify got the adjustment, they locked this down. These retakes, impeccable on B. In multiple rounds in a row. And look at Dodo just dancing on him with the movement to fight back in. And from what looked so grim for the reigning champs, it has now become as close as could be.
6-6 at the half. And before we get into the rest of play, Jen Lee is standing by with MIBR's superfan in the house.
네, 춤선이 참 예쁜 그 시코님을 모시고 이 댄스를 한번 제대로 배워보려고 합니다. Hello, Shiko. Now, we tried doing the dance, but I don't think we're doing it right. So can you please teach us? I mean, this is your song. Yeah?
Problem.
Okay.
Try. Okay, try.
Okay.
1, 2.
1, 2.
Yes.
Okay.
1,
1,
2. One,
One,
two.
Two.
1, 2. Let's go, everybody! Let's go!
Alright, can we try?
Vamos lá! Vamos, Brasil, vamos lá, vamos ganhar todo mundo! Vamos!
Okay. What makes you a great dancer? Practice?
No,
What is your secret?
just hungry.
아, 왜 어떻게 이렇게 춤을 잘 추냐고 했는데 You're hungry?
Yeah.
아, 그 배고프면 춤이 이렇게 나온대요. 같이 추면서 하프타임 보내시죠.
Let's go.
1, 2.
1, 2. 1, 2. Everybody, let's go! Woo!
Unbelievable scenes here in Lal Park. I thought the halftime interview with Shopify Superfan yesterday couldn't be beaten after the infinite answer and the hyper rap god translation from Jen Lee. This one she keeps simple, less translation and more dance moves.
Jen Lee is a treat. Thank you for
She
that.
truly can do it all.
Here's the Coinbase econ report to take a look at. We're 6-6 at the half.
Oh right, we're playing a really close 1-1
Yeah.
tied series.
It's actually map 3 of a BO5.
Right, tied at the half 6-6, and if you win this, you go to the finals. So yeah.
Oh, and by the way, Melange, IGL for Shopify Rebellion, not only called them into a great comeback, but is kind of fragging herself. Oh, the Shopify Superfan getting in on it too.
Wait a second. Wait, is that just a turncoat right there? Should the Shopify fans be doing the MIBR dance? Okay. Okay, we got to fight
Still
back.
repping Shopify while doing it though.
Maybe it's like trying to steal it and make it Shopify's own thing.
They're finding the common ground.
Right.
That's so beautiful.
Okay, you know what? I hope they can be friends after this match because ultimately, at the end of the day, one of them is going to be elated and the other one is going to be really sad.
Yeah. At least if you're the Brazilian fan, there's another Brazilian team.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, well, we don't know that they love Team Liquid, though. So
Maybe they hate Liquid, but they love MIBR.
I mean, that would make sense considering these two teams have been fighting each other
okay,
forever.
we're playing again. Let's get back into the game. It's defense for MIBR. It's Shopify group towards B. But it's MIBR working 3 down mid early, getting an embed for Bastarda.
Deep wall to fight up into elbow. Split up this site from Shopify. And this snake bite stops Elise's intention. She wanted to be inside of the smoke. Shopify are actually letting MIBR into the site to try and attack back up into heaven. And with Noya getting the kill on site, Melissa now taken down as well. Shopify just eliminate MIBR out of nowhere.
I love that pistol look. MIBR likes doing a lot of combined fights with the double duelists on their pistol rounds, on their eco rounds. And just contacting into B circumvents that.
Now Sayuri dinked with a little up, down action from Dodonut. So pistol round secured from Shopify. That play was really cool, and I swear I've seen a version of it somewhere. I can't remember if it was Shopify that have run this before.
NRG
or
does
another
that
team.
play too.
NRG, there we go.
I mean, I think a lot of what every good team is doing on this map is stealing from NRG because
That
of
makes
how
sense.
dominant they've been here. Look at Shopify's comp. I've never seen that before. Curious.
I'm sure they didn't steal anything.
But yeah, the wall is really good for those kind of gimmick plays. When you get a post line on B, you always either need mid or elbow, and that makes it so easy to take elbow.
Early knife out of Alexis this time. Going for that as an anti-eco idea to see if there's a stack behind B main.
And there is a stack on B, but not forward.
Yeah, that's the thing. MIBR are ready for that, so they play behind the knife initially, can then move back into the space because Shopify aren't speeding up behind it. They're expecting, which has been true of MIBR all the time, is when MIBR are down or maybe struggling a little bit, just start walking and taking fights.
Yeah, Melissa's trying to mess with them. You saw she darted space. They already had to be like, no, we're not here. We're re-clearing this right now.
Definitely, we're
Come
re-clearing
B,
it.
guys. Oh, they might be coming B.
They may just be doing that.
It might have worked.
Threw out the little worm at the end of the line. Pulling back all of Shopify right now.
It shows you've never fished.
Get Potter up here. She'll tell me exactly how that works.
Oh boy, the bait might be too good.
No one was actually holding for Lisa.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely no help. Might need to look at that one again in the Valorant after this, as this anti-eco is quickly secured. Melissa gets one on the other side,
Yeah.
but Shopify have now strung 8 rounds in a row together.
You may not have experienced this, but sometimes the fish eats you when you don't do it
There's
right.
always a bigger fish.
That's what we learned. The analogy can die now, but yeah, a bit of a mistake. Seeing that player get caught off in the open, no one really holding, and then Shopify does well to dismantle. It could have been a dangerous stack. Now this is the round. MIBR, like you said, they've lost 8 in a row. Now they have guns. They're against Shopify's bonus. You have to break the momentum here.
Felt like after the last map where I think 3 of MIBR's players looked like they were positive on the double. Now finding it hard to put more than Lisa in a positive score. And with that pick going down, a classic versus a rifle on A, this map state is uncomfortable. SRN.
She's not going to stop walking, by the way. Noya has got this gun, has posted up as well towards A, and now the team will slowly call back into her.
But this is how MIBR always play. Down a player, step on forward, and it works somehow. A critical miss out of Mel. And now Shopify pinched into A.
Backside is SRN.
The problem is backside. The problem is 2 players coming in from mid as well. SRG have to divide their attention to deal with MIBR. Noya out in the open and takes down SRN. Bouncing back from a tough first half, but Melissa still holding it down. Melissa for 4 shuts down this momentum.
Hell of a way to reinvigorate the team. And the first kill she gets is so unlikely. It looked like she was looking the wrong way initially. Here's that kill we missed. A double ping from Noya. But yeah, full 180. Melissa destroys Mel. And then flooding back on in. Great reset. Transfer on the spray. It's just beautiful.
That kill on Mel is almost more important than the 2 kills at
For
the
sure.
end because Shopify have no control over mid anymore. That's where the pinch comes in, and Melissa can punish once more. Now Shopify still have a buy, but Melissa got the Hunter's Fury off that.
It's a 4-1 for MIBR. They fought through A main very early on, and now they know it's going to be a B hit.
Yeah, the rotate's coming in immediately. 3 players ready to defend B.
But SR still a little slow to activate this. Now the null command pops.
Lisa still taking this fight as Dodo comes into the site. Now Hunter's Fury forces Dodo away, but the tracking on Alexis will take down the KO. Still, MIBR not in a position to retake unless Lisa can secure a shot. As a res comes in, these
Mel in
players on
heaven.
elbow pushed away. The teleport from Mel to pinch back in. Steals away
Planted.
that deep space.
And Sayori now smoked off. She has 2 teammates coming in from mid, but it's so tough to get into this site anywhere.
SRN, Melissa, shoulder to shoulder. Inch back forward, and the movement from Melissa, she picks up right where she left off. Another kill for SRN, now pinched back by Noya. SRG will take their 9th.
MIBR gambled the 4-1 there. Early pushing through A main, ready to fast flank. They were fine to retake B. But the critical moment for Shopify is Mel's teleport into heaven here. As her teammates are pressuring the other side, she pops up behind. And that's the key to winning B post plants. Once you have a crossfire in elbow and you stop anyone from flooding CT, retaking is nigh impossible.
It's virtually unlosable. That was after Shopify had no map control either. They had to get that done.
A fake B main start for Shopify with the teleport and the KO flash, but instead they're going to re-clear mid, try and punish Bastarda, who's been walking here.
Because on the last anti-eco, they just stuck around in B main. Now, Shopify changed things up. Teleport's still available for a few more seconds. As the smoke clears, Bastarda steps in with the timing on the dart. No kill secured and a whole lot of damage.
In B main, Mel has just taken down Lisa, so that door opens up and Shopify call back towards it.
MIBR rotating the wrong direction, but Shopify going to wait for all 5 players before they make a go at things over on the B site. And this has given MIBR a chance to stack on in. Melissa is still the key player to watch with the Guardian in hand.
And she's had a few key rounds, but a great knife. That should slow it a moment.
This time the approach will be from elbow. Melissa, 1 kill, but that's not enough. 3 for Melissa. Cleans things up here on the half buy from MIBR.
Yeah, it's just the anti-half buy, but Mel has been having a couple rounds. You know, we talk a lot about how long-standing this duo is, but this tournament,
Mel and Alexis.
yeah, really marks a milestone for those 2. First matches they played together all the way back on Magical. in the first precursor tournament to Game Changers, the For the Woman Summer Showdown. That was during the Ignition series. It's been 5 years since then. 5 years of excellence in North America. And Mel, she's the one to close out. Ever since that tournament, they have never not played together, Mel and Alexis. Every single team, from Magical to Cloud9 White, attending their first GCC and failing there, to Version 1 and Shopify, now winning back-to-back Game Changers championships and trying to do it again here in Seoul.
Yeah, the shocking thing for them is, even though they are the reigning back-to-back, this tournament, by falling down into the lower bracket, feels a little bit more like that Cloud9 year where the hype was there, but they have an early loss, ended up bowing out earlier than they ever had before, ever did after that.
Yeah.
Of course.
That was the big disappointment. That team disintegrated after. Only Mel and Alexis stayed together, picked up new players to form what became Version 1.
Yeah, ironically, that was the year that Shopify, not these Shopify players,
The old Shopify.
was in the final.
Yeah, technically Shopify's been in every Game Changers Championship final, just with a completely different core in the first year.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell me about the Mel Alexis duo being like the heart and soul of this team, and then also sell me on the org was always there, so that's good.
Yeah, KP, that was the same team, right, guys? Not quite.
Yeah, now KP's over on the playtest team and helping nerf some of Alexis's favorite agents, getting her revenge. Of course, Shopify Rebellion.
That's a crazy narrative.
They've been living good.
This is a big round, though. MIBR just took a timeout. They've been trailing ever since they started this game 6-0. And remember the stakes. They go into maps where it's not the double duelists that are good for Shopify. They really want to win here on Corrode.
Back in a flash.
Up behind this wall, Dodo wasting not a moment. Mel teleporting back sees 3 players, so Dodo hits the brakes for a moment. Shopify Rebellion play together. MIBR swinging on through, that is mental! And Dodo's still alive. How do you swing all those players? Dodo in the front and she never even goes down. Mel as well for 2 more kills. And in the blink of an eye, this moment that meant so much is ripped away from MIBR.
Yeah, Mel is destroying right now. It's not just the kills she gets, but that information. She doesn't pop that ult in C3. Dodo probably charges straight on in, dies for it, and then maybe MIBR flood in. No, doesn't happen.
Exactly, Mel teleports in, sees 3, says, stop, wait, we go together. And it's that fighting in perfect tandem with one another that pays off beautifully for Shopify. And it is also that level of play that has been the staple of Shopify. It has been that togetherness. It has been that level of cohesion that has allowed Shopify to dominate the scene for as long as they have.
Mel's going to go on the hunt, try and see if she can find the other IGL. She's just saving onto her rifle outside B. And this is where you really have to look deep for MIBR. You had such a great map 2 on split, 13-6 there. Here on map 2 as well. Started so strong.
6-0.
Yeah, but this is now where the pressure starts to mount, where you have to turn back and reflect and find what to change, find it in yourselves to pull off a comeback. You really feel like the deeper this series go, the more maps you play, the more it starts to favor Shopify. They're so experienced in these kind of long series.
No one's played more. Usually Shopify playing those in the upper bracket. Since that 6-0 start, 11-1 in the favor of Shopify. MIBR need this round with a broken bye. Donut is chasing down prey. And SRN trying to bring the fight to her will fall as well. These 2 last players pushed back under the cover of a smoke.
The crowd cheering for an ace already. She has 2 kills.
It's early to ask for that one. But with the way Shopify have been on full cruise control since that early deficit, makes you believe they can do just about anything.
They pick up the pace big time this round. Dodo just runs over the site. You saw MIBR was trying to play close on that choke, fight together and suffocate SRG as they came out. But the Waylay just breaks out of that.
Wow.
They're using the ultimate here.
Ultimate pulled by Dodo just to guarantee the round. No, there's 2 more for the next round. Shopify doing everything they can to make sure this round is unlosable. And that it is. Melissa now with so little time remaining on the clock, and Mel pinching back from the other corner. will put Shopify onto map point.
One away from sending this series to Abyss. MIBR. Do they have anything left in the tank on this map? Because these last few rounds, they have just been getting snuffed out. Be it the fast rounds or the slow, Shopify's been a step ahead.
Yeah, MIBR should have everything they could possibly ask for.
Guys. Beautiful. Beautiful, guys.
In this round. Trailing 5, but they have 4 ultimates. Bastarda has saved for the op. That has solved problems for MIBR in the past. This round, that op in B main, and now Mel down.
She's been such a problem, but there's still a reaction to push back towards A. There's a crossfire here.
And Mel 20-8 out of this round. Takes so much weight off of MIBR's shoulders, but still there's no room left for error. The crossfire set up. SRN and Sayuri with near full utility behind them. The contact from Dodo needs to get that shot, and she does. It's slow from Sayuri, and now the dive over onto the other side, just trying to bully Sayuri. She's flashing herself. Sarah jumps out of the smoke. It's a huge advantage, only answered back in turn by Melissa. That Hunter's Fury.
Melissa's been so good this game, despite the struggles for MIBR. Now with Bastarda alongside her, the hero of the previous map.
But the ask is of Bastarda, given the rifle. Now, spotting the Odin, turning back without a teleport to go away. She can't go for the kill. Needs to get on the spike, needs to fight on in. And now a Hunter's Fury out from Sarah. It is Bastarda versus the world. 1 kill, back onto the spike. Needs another! Not again.
Stop trying.
How much can she do? Bastarda is the best there is. But will there be time? She's trying to go for Bastarda. Do you have it? No! 4 kills was not enough. Shopify Rebellion, 1 more map for the rematch.